A teenager shares his dreams, his brothers burn with jealousy, and he ends up in a pit. Why does Genesis 37 open Joseph's story this way? Genesis 37 shifts the spotlight from Jacob to his son Joseph, and the drama begins right away. Joseph is 17, his father's favorite, and everyone knows it. The robe Jacob gives him is proof. His brothers can't stand him. And then Joseph makes things worse by sharing his dreams. In one, the sheaves of grain bow down to his sheaf. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bow to him. The meaning is clear, and the brothers boil with jealousy. I used to think Joseph was arrogant, but maybe he was just being honest. He really saw something from God. And that's a tension the bride of Christ, the church, still carries. When you walk with God's favor, people may misread you, misunderstand you, or even hate you. Paul says in 2 Timothy 3, verse 12, "Everyone who wants to live a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted." Joseph's robe was visible, and so is the church's identity, and visibility often brings hostility. The brothers plot against him. At first, they want to kill him. Reuben persuades them to throw him into a cistern instead. Judah suggests selling him to traders. In the end, Joseph is stripped of his robe, thrown in a pit, and sold for silver. Does that sound familiar? Stripped, betrayed, sold for silver. Joseph's story foreshadows Christ, but it also whispers about the bride of Christ. The church, too, is often misunderstood, stripped of honor, pushed into pits, and treated as worthless by the world. Yet God's hand never leaves. The robe is another key detail. It represented Joseph's favor, but it also made him a target. When the brothers dip it in goat's blood and hand it to Jacob, he believes Joseph is dead. That robe is gone, but Joseph isn't. And that's a hidden picture of the church. The world may try to stain or destroy the signs of God's favor, but the bride lives because her life is hidden with Christ. Colossians 3, verse 3 says, "Your life is hidden with Christ in God." The robe could be destroyed, but the dream couldn't. Genesis 37 doesn't tie everything up neatly. Joseph ends the chapter enslaved in Egypt. From the outside, the dream looks dead. But this is where God begins the long arc of redemption. For the bride of Christ, it's a reminder. The pit isn't the end. The betrayal isn't final. God's promises don't die in a cistern. If you believe the bride of Christ can be stripped but not destroyed, betrayed but not abandoned, then put the word dream in the comments. Because in Christ's church, what God promises may be hated, but it will never be buried.